Hi, my name is Debra R. Richardson of Debra R. Richardson LLC, and I work with you to help you clean up your vendor data, clean up your vendor processes, and pay the right vendor. Now, this week's Vendor Master File tip of the week is: have you secured your vendor master file? Or have you restricted who has access to your sensitive data in your accounting system or ERP? Same thing. Now, least privilege access should be followed at all times. And what does that mean? That means you only give access to those team members that add or update vendor records. Those that do not, allow view-only access for search purposes. In addition, for those that have view-only access, mask all except the last 4 or 5 digits of the vendor's birthday if you collect it, the tax ID, which can be the SSN, EIN, or ITIN, and the bank account number, as well as remove the routing number from view. Now, this also reduces fraud because it limits access to vendors' sensitive information. Now, here are 2 ways to get started restricting access to your vendors' sensitive information. The first one is to perform a security role access audit. Now, identify required roles for each job title or job function. And following least privilege access, remove those roles from the job functions where they are not really needed. For example, does the AP team that posts invoices really need to see the full bank account? Can you give them access to see only the last 4 or 5 digits of that bank account or tax ID? And that should be all they need to verify that they are posting the invoice to the correct vendor or correct vendor's location for payments. The second way is to add that security role or access audit to your month-end checklist. This way you can catch those folks that left the company and even those that transition to another department that no longer need the same access to that accounting system or ERP. Now, those were 2 tips, and I will link to a blog post where I talk about concerns with least privilege access when splitting vendor processes, such as who edits the vendor record versus who confirms the bank changes. So check out the link in the description. Now, if you'd like more information on how to combat fraud, please go to my website, debrarrichardson.com, for free tools and resources to avoid fraud, regulatory fines, and bad vendor data. So good luck, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified next Tuesday for the next Vendor Master File tip of the week.